What's up, everyone? Molly here again. Today I have a lower body workout for you. This one's about 30 minutes long, and there's no equipment required, so this is something you could do at home, in a hotel room, literally anywhere you have about 5 feet of space to move around. Stay tuned till the end because I stuck some of the bloopers in there from when I was working out with Kieran, hanging out with me. Anyway, let's get started. This workout is going to be in circuit form, which means you'll be performing 3 circuits, and each circuit you'll perform 3 times before moving on to the next one. For this first exercise, you're going to be doing glute bridge leg raises. We're going to start on our right side, which means we're going to activate our right glute and use that side of our body to push your pelvis towards the ceiling. You're going to keep your body still, and your left leg is going to be raised up, lowered back down, raised up, lowered back down. That leg should be straight. You're just going to point it to the ceiling, and then when you lower it back down, it should be about parallel to the ground. Your right glute is activated this entire time. Make sure you really squeeze your butt to push your pelvis towards the ceiling. Try to get in 8 to 10 of these. Now we're going to switch legs and do the exact same thing on the other side. With our left glute activated, we're going to use it to push our pelvis towards the ceiling. Again, right leg stays straight. You're going to point it up, lower it back down to parallel with the ground, and repeat that 8 to 10 times. Hopefully you're lucky like me and you have a really cute 1.5-year-old to keep you company. This is a good example of how you can add weight to any of your exercises to make them more difficult. For our next exercise, we're going to do something called crab marchers. We're going to start with the right leg. So again, this means you're going to be activating your right glute. All of your weight is going to be carried by that right leg. You're going to do the same thing, except you're up on your arms this time, and your right glute is, again, pushing your pelvis towards the ceiling, and that left leg is going to be bent this time. You're using your abs to get it up and off the ground. And as you can guess, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So this time you're going to use your left glute to push your pelvis towards the ceiling, get your body off the ground. Again, you're going to be up on your hands, not on your back. And you're going to use your abs to pull your right leg, which is bent, up and off the ground. Do 10 to 12 of these. Make sure you're really focusing on squeezing your left glute. I know there's a few things going on here, but this is definitely a glute exercise. Next, we've got single leg glute bridges. We're going to start on the right side, so we're going to activate that right glute to get our body off the ground. We're back on our backs again, by the way. Your left leg stays straight and in line with the rest of your body, and you're just going to use your right glute to press your pelvis towards the ceiling. Again, that left leg stays in line with your body. Should be one straight line. This is activating your right glute, so try to get 8 to 10 of those in. Of course, we're going to do the same thing on the left side. So this time you're going to be on your back, and your left glute is going to activate, pushing your body off the ground, and your right leg stays straight in line with the rest of your body. 8 to 10 of these as well. By now, your butt should be on fire, and if it's not, then you're doing something wrong. After you finish this exercise, you're going to go ahead and take 30 seconds of rest. And then you're going to repeat that whole circuit again 2 more times through before moving on to your second circuit. Kicking off this second circuit, we've got tabletop glute bridges. And these are very similar to a glute bridge that you would do on your back, except you're going to be up on your hands. Basically, you're just going to use your glutes. You're going to activate both at the same time to push your pelvis towards the ceiling. This works out your arms a little bit too since you're up on your hands. Try to get 10 to 12 of these in and really squeeze at the top before you lower yourself back down. The next exercise I call crouching toe taps. And for these, basically what you're going to do is you're going to crouch down in a kind of a squat position with your legs close together. And you're just going to alternate tapping your right toe and then your left toe out to the side. And when one foot is tapping, the other leg is bent and basically holding all of your body weight. These don't look very hard, but they definitely start to burn after a while. Try to get 10 to 12 of these in. Next, we've got curtsy lunges. For these, we're going to do 8 to 10, and it's sort of similar to a backwards lunge, but what you're going to do when your left or right leg steps back is it's going to step back and behind the other leg. So your right leg is going to step back and behind your left one, and your left leg will step back and behind your right one. And you're just going to alternate doing this one on each side. Again, 8 to 10 of these, and you can count every time your right leg goes down. It's an easy way to keep track. Make sure you're focusing on pushing off the ground with your glutes. This can be a great glute exercise if you think about using your glutes. Next, we've got squat jump stand-ups, and these are very similar to just regular squat jumps, except when you come up, instead of going immediately into the next squat, you're going to sort of come up to a standing position and tap your feet in the middle. So you're going to squat, stand up for a second, squat, stand up for a second. And the pace with these is pretty quick. I think I do 10 here. Next, we've got switch feet. And basically, these are just really quick little lunges, alternating lunges. We're going to do this for 30 seconds. This is just going to help keep your heart rate up. You should be sweating at this point. If you want to do it with me here, I do it for about 30 seconds. Sometimes if this gets confusing, you can imagine a line on the ground. You can just imagine hopping your feet back and forth across it. Now we've got a 30-second rest, and then of course we will repeat that circuit 2 more times through, and then move on to circuit 3. For circuit 3, we're going to start off with doggy style leg extensions. For these, you're going to be on your hands and knees. I'm starting with my right leg, so I'm going to extend it back and press it up to the ceiling using my glute. Again, you're really going to want to squeeze that right glute when you get to the top. Kieran thought it was important to feed me an imaginary bite of food on, I think those were scissors. I think those were kid scissors that he put in my mouth. Anyway, try to get 10 to 12 of these. Once you do that, you're going to actually keep your leg extended, and then you're also going to raise your left hand in the air. So this is opposite hand and leg here. Raised in the air, and you're just going to pulse upward. My left arm is pulsing at the same time that my right leg is. Do 12 to 14 of those. Then, of course, we're going to even it up and do it on the same thing on the left side. So this time my left leg is going to be extended back and up to the ceiling. I'm going to squeeze my left glute when I get it up there. And once again, try to get 10 to 12 of these in. It's good practice if you can remember to look at the ground when you do this so that your neck is in line with your back, even though I'm not doing that necessarily. Now we're going to keep the left leg extended and raise the right hand this time. For 12 to 14 bird dog pulses, we're going to pulse our arm and leg to the ceiling at the same time. Again, opposite hand and leg here. Right arm is up, left leg is up. Lastly, we have downward dog leg raises. And we're going to start with our right leg. So go ahead and get into the downward dog position. This is much easier, by the way, if you're like barefoot on a surface that has good traction. This is actually kind of tricky on carpet. For this, you're just going to press your right leg back and up to the ceiling, squeeze your glute at the top, and then you're going to rock forward, crunching your right leg to your chest, really activating your core for this, actually, using your abs. And you're just going to do this 8 to 10 times. Make sure you really extend that leg as straight and as high as you can get it, squeezing your right glute at the top. Of course, to even it up, we're going to do the same thing on the left side, 8 to 10 of these. So this time we're going to get into a downward dog position, raise our left leg off the ground, extend it back and up, squeeze your left glute, and then rock forward using our abs to pull our left knee to our chest. This really is a full body exercise because your arms should be burning during this too. Shoulders, arms, core, and legs, of course. After you finish that exercise, that completes your third circuit, and you're going to take a 30-second rest. Repeat it 2 more times through, and when you're done with that, you've completed the workout. Hope that was a good one for you guys. Let me know if you liked it. As always, subscribe for more free workouts. I love doing at-home stuff for you guys. And go ahead and take a minute to stretch if you need to. Stretching is always really good. And when you're done with that, enjoy these bloopers. Okay, go get a toy. Hi. Oh. What are you doing? Okay, go get a toy.